Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the Mr. Robot machine from VulnHub. But more importantly, I'll explain why each step works, not just what to type. This machine is a beginner to intermediate challenge where we need to find 3 hidden keys, each requiring a deeper level of access. If you don't know how to set up the lab, you can watch the video I made. This video is for educational purposes only. All techniques demonstrated are performed in a controlled lab environment. Do not attempt these actions on systems you do not own or have explicit permission to test. I'm using 2 virtual machines, Kali Linux as the attacker, the Mr. Robot machine as the target. Both are configured in host-only mode. This creates an isolated environment where only these 2 machines can communicate. This is important in cybersecurity labs so we don't accidentally interact with real networks. First step in any attack is reconnaissance. So, open the terminal and type IP address. This tells the IP address and the network range. In this case, I'm in a /24 network. Instead of guessing which IP belongs to the target machine, we scan the entire network using Nmap. Type Nmap followed by your IP address with the IP range. This allows us to discover which hosts are active and what services they expose. From the scan, we can see that there is a host up with HTTP and HTTPS ports open. This tells us that the machine is a web server. Now I open the target IP in a browser. We can see a stylized terminal interface with various sections. In those sections you will find videos, images, but no useful information. So we try common hidden paths like robots.txt. This file can reveal directories or pages that developers don't want indexed. When we access it, we find 2 things, the first key and another file. If we open the key path in the browser, we can read it. That's our first key. Then we check the second file, and we see that it's a word list. We download it, because it will be useful later. After that, we navigate to the WordPress Login page. And here is where things get interesting. On the login page, I noticed something critical. I tried to connect with the admin credential, but failed. But when I entered the wrong credentials, the site told me, invalid username. This is a vulnerability, because the system is revealing whether a username exists or not. This allows something called user enumeration, identifying valid users before even attacking passwords. Now I go back to the terminal and move into the folder where the file was downloaded. Type WC followed by the name of the file. This shows us that the file contains over 850,000 words. But with all those words, the brute force attack would have been very slow. So I optimized the list by sorting it and by removing all duplicates with the command unic. This reduces the list to about 11,000 words. Now, since the login page reveals valid usernames, we can use Hydra to test usernames from the dictionary. To do the brute force attack, we have to type this command. Hydra stands for the name of the tool, -L for the word list, -p for the password. But we don't need to know it, because for this part we will only need to discover the username. Then type the IP address of the target. HTTP post form tells to Hydra to attack a web login form using HTTP post. And for the last thing, we need to type the page parameters and condition. wplogin.php is the page of the site on which we are going to attack. Then by looking at the inspector of the page, we can find that the space where we can type the username is called log, and that the space for the password is called pwd. Then we need the automation to submit the datas, and if it says invalid username, the username isn't correct. This is a failure condition. The tool looks for the phrase invalid username in the response to determine that the login attempt failed. After a few seconds, the username found was Elliot. If we try it on the website with a wrong password, it now tells us another message. The password for this username is incorrect, confirming that the username is correct. Now we have to brute force the password. We can simply modify the command we wrote before by changing the word list with the username Elliot and the password with the word list. But because the error message changed, we need to change it to with is incorrect. After running Hydra again, we found the password. With the credential we got, we can now access to the WordPress dashboard. On this page, we can see a lot of options of the website, like the users, posts, settings, but most important, the appearance, because in it we can find the editor with which we can modify the PHP code. We can use this at our advantage by changing the code to open a connection towards our computer. So I modify the 404.php file. This file is executed whenever a non-existent page is requested, which makes it perfect for triggering a payload. This type of connection is called reverse shell because it is the target that will connect to us. This is useful because it bypasses firewalls and restrictions. The code function like that. The exec is a function that executes a system command. The /bin/bash tells to run bash and execute the command inside the quotes. C means run this command string. Bash, I, start an interactive bash shell. This allows us to run commands as if we were logged into the system, and redirects both output and errors to the TCP connection. This is a feature that opens a TCP connection to out machine on port 443. Here it is not needed, but we use this port to blend in, because it is the HTTPS port. And the last part redirects input to the same connection. And upload the changes. On Kali, we start a listener by typing nc-nvlp443. Then we trigger the 404 page, and the target connects back to us. Now we have shell access. In the home directory, we can find a robot file with the second key, which we can't read for now, and an MD5 hash password. Hash, it's a one-way transformation of data. You can't directly reverse it, but you can try to guess the original value. This is called hash cracking. I will do it using this website. On the Kali machine, you won't have internet for the type of settings we have chosen, so you will have to do it on your own system. Type in the MD5, do the CAPTCHA, and crack it. This will give you the correct password. Using this password, we can log in as user robot on the target machine. Now we have enough permissions to read the second key. Now the last step is to escalate our privileges on the machine. The most common way to do that is by searching for files with the SUID bit with this command. Find/ searches the entire file system. Perm 4000 finds SUID files. With type F, searches only for regular files. And the last part hides permission errors for clean output. SUID bit allows a file to run with the privileges of its owner, often root. If misconfigured, it can be exploited. You can know if the file is exploitable by searching on your system browser GTF opens, which will show you the ways it can be hacked. You can look at every file, but the one we are looking for is Nmap. As you can see, we can get root access by going on Nmap Interactive and then type this command to get root access to this shell. So, type on the shell Nmap Interactive and then the other command. It's important to note that Nmap Interactive is no longer available in recent versions. So this technique only works on older versions of Nmap. If it worked now by typing "who am I," it will tell you that you are root. With root access, by going on the root directory, we can see that there is the third and final key. In this machine, we followed a clear methodology from Reconnaissance to privilege escalation. Every step worked because we understood the logic behind it, not just the commands. If you enjoyed this and want to learn more, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.